Well, Dave, of course, we did see the news that Freddie Freeman and Chelsea, they'll be welcoming their fourth child, so exciting news for them. But that does mean that Ryan Ward's going to be making his Major League debut. With Ryan, what is the expectations for him, and what do you like about just this opportunity he has in front of him?
It's a really good story. I'm going to start him today at first base, and obviously, he's here because of Freddie's paternity leave. But it's an opportunity for Ryan, and it's just he's been a Dodgers farmhand for a long time, and we've asked him to do a lot of different things as far as hit for power, control the strike zone more, hit for average, and improve the defense, and he's done all that. And so when you look at a guy like Ryan and you see him in a big league clubhouse, it's one of those stories that he earned every bit of this opportunity. So I think he's got about 20 people in town to watch his debut, so it'll be a fun day.
The paternity list obviously is not a very long time, but what do you think just this opportunity can do for someone like Ryan?
Well, I think it's validation for all the hard work he's put in. I think it's an organizational win, but certainly most for Ryan in his hard work he's put in. But you never know. Obviously, this is a paternity situation, but him to get here, cut his teeth in the big leagues, and make his debut, you never know what could be in store.
Do you expect Freddie to be gone for the 3 days?
We expect him back at some point in San Francisco.
For a guy like you that spent 8 years in the minor leagues, when you have this type of situation, story of Ryan Ward, does it kind of hit home closer to you, and to reward a guy like this, to give him a start?
It does. It does. I think that he's a guy that when you look at him, he's never been that big prospect, and so I really believe in meritocracy and performing, and he's a guy that nothing was given to him. He's had to earn it and continue to earn it and continue to prove it. So I do relate to that, and so I am sensitive to guys like him.
Was there any consideration to have rushing start at first base today?
There was, and actually I was going to start Dalton. And then I went to Dalton last night and I said, hey, I'm going to go against what we talked about, and I'm going to start Ryan because, and Dalton finished my sentence, said, because he's earned it. And Dalton said he was going to come up to me actually and say that, forego a start to let Ryan start. And that just speaks to Dalton's, being a teammate and getting it. And so, this is just certain things you got to do that because they're the right thing. And then I also think he's good in this spot. But Dalton's swinging a good bat. But I really wanted Ryan to get a start today.
I'd mentioned.
When did Ryan kind of first pop up on your radar?
Well, I think he was in camp 4 years ago. So I've known him for a long time. And you look at his baseball card, and he just continued to be productive and produce. So I've known of Ryan for a long time.
Ryan talked with us about just his plate discipline and how he's really been intentional about improving that. Where do you see that he's grown the most, maybe in the last year?
You know what? I think the plate discipline, the being a better hitter, not the 3 outcomes. He's done all that. He's improved his defense. But honestly, for me, really is just not to let his lack of opportunity in the big leagues deter him. And I think that's easy when you get frustrated and let it affect performance, and he hasn't done that.
The spring, especially, he didn't have the best spring. Do you feel like he sort of got a sense that after getting added to the 40-man roster, he kind of had to really go out of his way to force his way onto the roster for you guys?
I think he put a little extra pressure on himself this spring, getting added to the roster. I tried to play him a lot because I wanted him to get a look, and didn't have the best spring, but he came out and started off the season really well, and so this is just a perfect storm for him, and I expect him to play a lot more, get a lot more service time.
Do you know what to expect from Roki today?
I don't. I hope he just goes out there and attacks these guys, and it's actually a good matchup for him because this is a very aggressive team, kind of like the last couple teams we faced. So if he can, pitch off the split, the slider, introduce the fastball at times, it should bode well. He should be efficient if he's not giving away free passes.
He doesn't spin the ball quite as much as some guys. Do you think that's going to make the altitude less of a factor with him?
No, I think if anything, it could potentially help him because he doesn't rely on spin. But again, we'll kind of we'll see together. But hopefully he goes out there and attacks these guys.
Like, how much of it is sort of the attacking guys and the intent behind it, but more than just anything mechanical, command-wise, he's kind of dealing with?
I think it's a combo. I think, for me, I think some of it is mechanical, but I think large, for me, pitchers, there's got to be an intent and conviction to pound the strike zone and deal with whatever result in the strike zone. So, sometimes it's giving hitters a little too much credit, but his stuff is really good, and so you got to get him past that next hurdle.
Called it fishy last night, the way the Rockies were on Will Klein's stuff. Did you see anything unusual that inning, or did it just kind of look like they were sitting soft against him?
I saw some bad breaking balls, so I don't think there was anything fishy behind it. I think there were some bad pitches.
Well, Ryan, first, congratulations. You'll be making your Major League debut this afternoon.